experiencing trauma, and it's such a weird sensation. It's very difficult, and it probably was for you for many years to tell this story. What were the barriers to coming forward with it?
For me, I always felt open to sharing my story, but the thing that made it difficult was the reactions of the people that I shared with. So, the most common response that I historically have gotten when I've shared my story is I tell someone what happened and I say, when I was 15, I was kidnapped by someone that I later found out was a serial killer. They just go, "Oh my
Uh,
God, I'm so sorry that happened." And for me, I will preface this by saying, I know that everyone who has ever said that to me, their intentions were just so pure and so supportive. But what it felt like to me is that person was saying, I feel sorry for you. And I did not feel sorry for me. And to this day, I am not sorry that this thing happened to me because it put me on the path to lead me where I am today. So to say that I am sorry that something happened to me feels like I would be so unappreciative of my life today and where I am and who I am. And so people saying I'm sorry felt uncomfortable enough that I did not share specifically for that reason. So that has led me to one of the things that I talk about quite frequently, which is teaching people what are the ways to respond, right? That's the natural next question is, okay, well, if that's not the proper way to respond, then what are the proper ways to respond? Because automatic response say, I'm so sorry that happened. And what that does is it may feel like it felt to me like that person feels sorry for you. So if you tell me your story and I say, I'm so sorry that happened, what that does is it shifts the focus from you sharing your story to me, right? I am so sorry. And then it puts that survivor in the position of, well, it's okay because, and that's just a terrible place to put somebody in who is sharing something so vulnerable. So the sentiment is there, but the wording can change. So a better response would be something like, wow, thank you so much for sharing that with me. That must have been difficult for you to share. Or how are you feeling? Or how can I support you? Those are all ways to keep the focus on the person who has just told you something vulnerable while letting them know that you're there to support them. Other great things to say are, I believe you, if that's an appropriate thing to say, or to convey that you believe that person, and to let them know that you feel very honored that they would feel safe enough with you to share something so vulnerable. So those are all great sentiments that can replace that automatic, not autonomic, that automatic response of, I'm so sorry that happened to you, and really continue to empower that person so that they can continue their healing journey and become a survivor, a thriver.